Nigerians need to know that the battle to break President Tinubu is a battle to break Nigeria. Yes, and let's not pretend anymore. Yes, there's a powerful undercurrent in Nigeria's political waters today, and it is flowing fiercely against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And what is happening is not just the usual political noise. It is carefully orchestrated campaign by a group of powerful interests who feel threatened not just politically, but economically and historically. And the reason they want President Tinubu out of power at all costs go deeper than most people realize. This whole struggle did not start today. And to understand what is happening now, we must go back to a conversation between Professor Omoruyi and General Ibrahim Babangida. A conversation that shed raw light on how deep the northern establishment fear of southern leadership's run. That conversation, documented in Omoruyi's book, The Tale of June 12, revealed a mindset that is both old and dangerous persistent. Out of that discussion, there was a message from the Sultan of Sokoto. He warned General Babangida that allowing the election of MKO Abiola, a Yoruba man and fellow Muslim, will undo the gain the North had made since independence in 1960. Imagine that. Even though MKO was well liked and not seen as a threat in personal terms, his ethnic identity alone made him unacceptable to northern power brokers. The Sultan made it clear that the North could not afford a Yoruba presidency. He believed it would shift the balance of power and allow the Southwest to reverse the decade of northern dominance. And according to the account of Professor Omoruyi, a message was sent to Babangida that the June 12 election must not go forward. And Babangida, in a moment of candor, told Omoruyi that Yoruba people behave as if Nigeria cannot move forward without them, and adding that the Igbo should teach them a lesson. Seriously, it was a disturbing statement, but it revealed the hidden bitterness and competition that have plagued Nigeria's leadership structure for years. It also showed how much fear and hatred of Southern ascendancy still exists behind closed door. And what played out in 1993 is no different from what we are seeing today. The same fear, the same desperation, the same tactics. Now, President Tinubu has become a symbol of what northern elites fear most. A southern leader who is independent, bold, and difficult to control. President Tinubu is not Obasanjo, who was handpicked and trusted by the same establishment to protect their interests. Unlike Obasanjo, who once ruled as a military head of state and was widely seen as someone who would play ball. Tinubu came through the hard way. He built his political machinery from the ground up, led the opposition for years, and earned his victory through grit, strategy, and the power of the people. And now that is in power, is not dancing to their tune. That is the real problem. What has President Tinubu done that is shaking the foundation of this powerful interest? Is disrupting their long-standing economic privilege. The removal of the petrol subsidy alone cut off a major pipeline of wealth for many of them who had benefited for years without accountability. Oil bunkering, illegal mining, black market foreign exchange deals, non-payment of taxes, and outright stealing of public funds in public service without questioning were part of the economic lifestyle of northern elites. These acts were not just tolerated, they were part of an entrenched system of plundering Nigeria. Tinubu's reform are exposing that system and trying to shut it down. And the reform, though tough, are not without purpose. They are aimed at building a stronger economy, reducing waste, and making the country work for everyone. Not just a privileged few, but those who have failed fat on the nation commonwealth for decades see it differently. To them, Tinubu's policy are not reform, they are threats. They see every policy as a move to dismantle their empire, and they cannot take it. So what are they doing? They are regrouping, coalition. They are calling on their best 11 political heavyweights, media propagandists, religious leaders, and ethnic champions. They are aligning with angry politicians, including those from Southwest who lost out in the last election. They are funding protests, sponsoring misinformation, and showing discontent. And they are trying to present Tinubu's administration, government, as a failure. And not because he has failed, but because they are desperate to make the people turn against him. This playbook is not new. It is the same strategy they used against former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Remember how they resisted every effort to transit power to him after the death of former President Yaradua. How they labeled him incompetent, weak, clueless. They made the country ungovernable for him and push him out using every conventional and unconventional method at their disposal. Now they want to repeat the same script. Only this time, the target is President Tinubu. But Nigeria must ask themselves, is this really about President Tinubu? Or it is about a group of people trying to protect their unchecked access to power and wealth? The bitter truth is this: if we allow these forces to succeed, Nigeria will return to the same cycle of backwardness we have been trying to break since independence. The old system will come back stronger, bolder, and ruthless. The same forces that have looted our resources, undeveloped our regions, and used religion and ethnicity to divide us will be back in control. All the efforts to create a fair and just Nigeria will be wasted. No one is saying President Tinubu has done everything perfectly. No leader ever does that. But what President Tinubu represents is a turning point in Nigeria's political history. For the first time in a long while, the person at the top is not a puppet. He's not afraid to make a decision. He's not waiting for approval from a hidden cabal. He's trying to steer the the country in a new direction, away from waste, corruption, and economic sabotage. And that is why they want him out. Seriously, the fight against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just about politics. It is about power, privilege, and control. It is a battle between the old Nigeria and the new Nigeria. A battle between those who want change and those who want things to stay the same because they benefit from it. A battle between progress and sabotage. But this time, we must not let them win. We must see through the lies, the propaganda, and the distractions. We must recognize what is at stake, not just for President Tinubu, but for all of us. If they succeed in removing President Tinubu, they will also remove every hope for real change in this country. If they succeed, they will send a message that no certain leader who is not a puppet can ever survive in power. If they succeed, they will find the dream of balance, of a balanced Nigerian where leadership is based on merit, not manipulation. Nigerians, this is the moment for Nigerians to stand firm, not because Tinubu is perfect. No, but because Nigeria deserves a chance to be governed by someone who is not beholden to any hidden master. We must support the reforms President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is going through. We must endure the temporary pain for the promises of lasting gain. We must resist the attempt to throw the country back into chaos just to satisfy the greed of a few. Because if we allow them to remove President Tinubu now, we are not just removing a president. Yes, I'm telling you, we are removing our last chance at true national progress. Let's not betray our future. Let us stay the course. Let us protect the reforms. Let us defend the hope. Because this time, the change must not stop. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.